Hello.
Yo, how you doing?
A little bit worse than an hour ago, but
Eh,
we've got some hopium and some copium.
okay, hopium and copium, got it. Okay, so where are we? What's the progress or lack of it or whatever since last time?
Great progress. I'm at 2750 MMR. I think last time was like 2400 or something.
Okay,
Flying through Archon feels good.
nice, nice. Okay, that's good. More tangible results. Always nice. Not always reliable, but nice.
No, it comes in waves too, but
Yeah, for sure. It does, 100%. My experience is that, like, if you're playing above average, there's just going to be, I feel like, 4 out of 5 days that you go 50-50, and then there's, like, that one day where you just go, like, 7-1. That's
yeah.
generally how you climb, I think.
Yeah.
So, yeah, what did we talk about last time?
We started off with some drafting, and then you watched a Bristleback game and an Alk game. We talked
Okay.
about when we're strong versus when we need to run away, and then also a little bit of matchups. That's what I
Cool.
remember.
So, what do you have for me today?
Let's see. So, first off, I had a Bristleback game that I think this was like a week ago, but if I remember it right, I was owning the lane, but I was kind of wondering like how to keep the balance between like farming myself and shutting down the other guy.
Sure.
Because it's hard to do both. I got an ID for you.
Okay. I would say Bristleback generally plays for his own timings because his timings are pretty scary. But sharing screen, let's just check out what we got.
Sure.
Have you predominantly been playing Bristleback and Alk, or is there other heroes you're playing?
Yeah. Let me look at my Dota buff real quick. It's like play them unless I really feel like I need to play someone else. Usually it's Bristleback Alk. I've now been given a golden ticket to play Night Stalker 1, so I do that when I can. Thank you, Saberlight.
Saber, Giga Chad.
And then Jug. Try to play TV, but not as much as I should, I guess.
Gotcha. I think everybody has different perspectives on starting items for Bristle.
Yeah.
Okay, let's start this lane over. So I personally believe Bristle's entire laning phase is how do I get to a ring of health? How do I get to this item without feeding? Okay, because if I can get to ring of health and the lane's like remotely close, it's like usually over at that point. That's how I kind of feel about Bristle. So most of my starting item builds on Bristle, they have like 4 or 5 mangoes in them. It is a lot of mangoes. Like this game had 3 mangoes. I know it looks like 1, but that was 3. This game had, I believe, 4. Oh wait, no mangoes in this one. Why? It was a Visage. Oh yeah, classic. Okay, no mangoes against Visage. Sorry, specifically not Visage. This game, I believe, I had 4 mangoes. Yeah, I think I actually went 5 mangoes at this game. I was against Enigma, so you gotta spam those fucking boars down.
And you like the salve over you like the salve over tangos?
Kind of depends on the lane. I was against Enigma Marcy, so I was expecting to get like tossed in at some point and lose 400 HP. So like I wouldn't go salve against Night Stalker Mirana. You're most likely just getting queued by Night Stalker, maybe right-clicked by Mirana. Yeah. So this is a lane where I would 100% skip stick. I don't think Mirana casts very many spells. Same with Night Stalker. It's like, the thing about stick is like, sorry about the background noise there. I only buy stick on Bristle if I think it'll give me more mana than 3 mangoes by the time I buy a Ring of Health. Will it give me more mana than 3 mangoes? If the answer is yes, then I will buy a stick. So, like Visage, I buy stick because... Or if I think I'm actually afraid of dying, I guess, I'll buy stick.
Yeah.
Because Visage specifically, you know, he just soul summons you, and then it hurts. But yeah, so just... I would not buy stick in this lane. I would probably have, like, 3 mangoes, like 2 branches, and a Fairy Fire or some shit with this quelling. Just like some damage. And so what I do at the start of every lane as Bristle, when I'm a bit concerned about the range creep, if your 5's a healing 5, you have no threat on the range creep, I will just instantly quill the wave. I think it's super important to just quill the wave, because your first quill does like no damage, right? And then your second quill does 53. So if your second quill comes in and you're also right-clicking the creep at the same time, that's like 110 damage. That's pretty reliable, you know, to get that range creep. So I would have quilled right away, but instead you don't, and then he just denies it. So that's kind of annoying. And then, as Bristle, I always want to keep the creep waves together. I would never let this happen. The minute I saw it happen, I would walk back up. Yeah. Never let the creep waves separate. Never good as Bristle. Your quills just hit everything equally, right? So there's no reason to separate the creeps. The thing about Bristle is, you naturally ruin the lane equilibrium by existing. So, what I usually think is I want the lane to be pushed, unless I'm against a really bad matchup, okay? Unless I'm against a really bad matchup. I want the lane to be pushed out, such that it's kind of constantly chilling around here. And I just tell my support to, like, try to pull as much as possible. And eventually, if the lane's right here, I want it to be here when I get my Ring of Health, right? Because then I just, like, walk over here and go get it. But either way, little tidbits here. You know, I'd even be down to do, like, a live game after this if you want with Bristle. It's up to you. Just kind of chill. We'll see what we get after the game, though. Okay, so we got this. Getting some denies in the last hits. Very good. Okay, they're just kind of letting you have all these. Very nice. Very
terrified.
Cool.
They're terrified.
Absolutely.
Spoil that shot.
Warlock's gonna give you the W, I'm sure. Very nice. Nice. Then you're gonna walk over, go pick up your Ring of Health in a second here, I'm sure. Nice. Very good. Go walk over and pick it up. Nice. Okay. Very good. Fast forwarding. I think you're over quilling here. I kind of like make him contest me first. I think you just overused your quills.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense. Yeah. Because it's like, that was my whole problem this lane, is that I felt like I was giving this guy too much. I don't know, it felt like we were owning him, but he could just play safe enough.
The thing about Bristle is he naturally shoves in the lane, so...
Yeah.
The only way to really abuse people is if you're pulling. But at the end of the day, if you're a carry getting pretty much every CS and solo XP, I don't think it really fucking matters. Okay. I wouldn't have gone Goo. I just don't have a kill support.
Yeah.
Period. Like, if my support helps me kill people, I might consider Goo.
Okay.
Goo's also a consideration based on the current mana I have when I hit level 4. Yeah. Like, if I'm sitting at, like, 3/4 mana, and the lane's, like, back here, and I'm thinking, man, this Night Stalker's fucking terrified right now, then I would level Goo. But, you know, if you... It's just a self-awareness thing, right? Like, the lane's just pushed into his tower. You already told me how you felt. So just level accordingly. You're not killing this guy, right? So don't level this skill. Just level this one, right? No reason to, like, feel pressured, you know? I feel like what happens is you can maybe learn from your own replay analysis or maybe, like, a coaching session from me and all that kind of stuff. But if you feel a certain way in the game, I really encourage you to just follow it, okay? Just follow it. Don't feel like you should be getting more, okay? It's just like, whatever's happening is happening. There's so many reasons why different things can happen in a game, and I'm just going to tell you that, like, if I think about, like, I don't like this, it never really works for me. Like, it doesn't actually help me. I usually actually make mistakes. Just accept what is currently happening. And if, like, after the game, it feels like this lost me the game, you might have to, like, review the lane, you know? You can look for individual points. But the biggest thing is, like, you know, you told me. You feel like the lane's not very aggressive. This guy's getting a lot. And so if the guy's getting a lot and you don't feel like you can really do much, then the last thing you should do is invest items or skill points into quote-unquote pressuring him. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I mean, that's just something to really follow. It's hard to really be disciplined about it. I have been struggling myself, you know, being consistently disciplined about this kind of thing. But if you're going to mess up, I want it to be because I watch you and I see you missing opportunities rather than having two things not add up. You know what I mean? That's what I would rather see. I think it'll promote long-term growth if we see things you're missing rather than things you're, you know, don't overthink it. Dota is a hard enough game as is, you know? So let's go ahead and fast forward here. Using your soul ring, giving him some goo. Yeah, and not much you can really do here, you know? You're just gonna push out the lane. I would have killed this sentry like 2 minutes ago. This sentry is quite the grief. You pretty much always want the hard camp as Bristle. I understand they have a Mirana, but I would still want it. Unless I'm against a really bad matchup, once again. As long as I feel like the lane's getting pushed out, I want the hard camp there. So I would have just killed it, or like killed the sentry. I think what you're doing here is good. I think this is absolutely correct. Don't go boots. Boots do not accelerate this hero. Vanguard accelerates the hero. Don't freak out. You can literally go Vanguard, Soul Ring, Raindrops, and then boots. You know, this hero is the same as Pudge. Pudge and this hero are the exact same. Their only issue is if they're allowed to be full HP, just resources. Like if Pudge and Bristle are alive, they are farming very fast. It is really that simple, right? There's no item that makes them farm faster in regards to, like, Pudge uses Rot, Bristle pushes Quills. That is their farm speed. So as long as Pudge is allowed to Rot, as long as Bristle is allowed to Quills, these heroes will be farming, right? Like, that is their max farm speed. So while boots seem nice and all, we just want to do the whole Quill pressing, Soul Ring pressing, camp clearing, walk a tower kind of thing without dying. We don't actually care about being faster, okay? Like, the faster thing is when you're in garbage matchups. I just want to be clear that what I'm telling you is how the hero wants to play, right? So when I say you don't do these things, what I mean is when it's a good game for the hero, you don't do these things. Anything that is not a Soul Ring and a Vanguard first items means you're in either a weird matchup or you're having a tough game, okay? It's just one of those two things. So, like, for instance, I've learned against Visage, I need a full wand and usually a bracer and raindrops before I even buy a ring of health because I just get soul assumptioned 7 times. Okay, I've realized I can't really do much about it. You know, I can't be greedy, quote unquote, for a ring of health. So, like, that's an example where, other than Vanguard Soul Ring, everything else is an inconvenience to me. Everything else is, I really, really fucking needed this item. And if that's the answer, then sure. But, like, I don't think you needed these boots. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that definitely makes sense. I mean,
so I definitely feel, I can see that you want to pressure this guy. I think your move there was perfect. I think your move there was perfectly fine. Just do it without boots. You go back for some jungle camps. We got the fucking chipped vest. We're living the fucking dream, baby. That's the fucking dream. You're gonna walk back to top now, I assume. Fucking feeding Warlock. Kappa. Okay, you walk at that guy. Great. So at this point, we're supposed to... Yeah, that's good. Good, good, good. Good, good, good. Go hard camp. Great. Dragging camps into each other. Fantastic. Walking back to lane. Fantastic. I probably would have stayed in lane here. So I'm going to rewind. We clear the wave. We see a fight a brewing. So, like, every moment, every time you're here, you have the conscious choice between going here and going here, right? Like, that's a choice you have every time. So I call this the status quo move. Okay? And what that means is just nothing is fucking happening in the game. So, I go here. This is the, oh, there's something happening elsewhere move. Or, I am very strong move, right? So, if I see this happening, I know that I'm probably going to go to this camp unless I see enemy heroes. Because, like, okay, let's just real quick mindset shit this. If your team makes a 3-man move on Morphling, if the opponent's not helping the Morph, what are they doing?
Yeah.
What are they doing? If they're not helping him, what are they doing? 100%.
Jungling, probably.
They're about to 4-man gank your ass, bro.
Or that, yeah.
They are 4-manning your ass. That is the only exception. Like, I'm telling you, like, yes, okay, maybe in your bracket, people might be randomly jungling, right? But it's like 45% of the time they're helping the Morphling, 45% of the time they're ganking you, and the other 10% they're AFK jungling, okay? You know, like, that's what's happening. Dota players, yes, they're kind of sus sometimes, right? Especially at lower MMRs, unpredictable, whatever. But, like, most Dota players see their carry getting gone on, and unless they're doing something incredibly important, they will react to it, okay? So, I just see this, and I know for a fact in the next, like, 3 seconds, I'm going to know exactly where everybody else on the enemy team is. They're either all top or they're all bottom. So I'd walk to this creep camp like this, farming this, and I see that. You know, I see the Murata. I'm like, okay, back to the wave. Like an instant U-turn, right? Instant U-turn right now. Because I know exactly where all of them are. Because I'm just telling you, they're not like 2-man helping the Morphling and 2-man ganking you. That's just like not a thing. So you go right back to lane. And instead of farming these jungle camps, we're going to kill top tower. It's going to be slower than it could be, but maybe we'll still kill it. I think this whole pressure move is just slower. Mirana's going to... Nice. Okay. Very good. Could have just arrowed the catapult and left, but that's fine. Yeah, you probably get this tower. Yeah, you probably just get the tower and walk away if you did that properly. See how big of a deal 5 seconds made?
Yeah. Yeah.
Crazy, right? Okay. Luckily, we get away. Or fortunately, whatever. Okay, gonna back off a little bit. Nope. I probably would have flown myself a salve, to be honest, if I planned to fight top there. Just, like, top myself off. I'd always rather be unkillable on Bristle than, like, play a greedy. Double kill. Good invasion of their triangle. Good stuff. You're gonna... Okay, you're gonna go back here. I mean, all this is fine. I can clearly tell you've played a decent amount of Bristle recently. All this looks pretty good to me. You're gonna go back. I would say you go back top here. What'd you say?
I think if I remember this game right, I just die once when Lena gets her Silver Edge, and then everything sucks after that. But before that, everything's great.
Yeah, so... you know, you're having a perfectly free farm game, but we can see at the top that the net worths are not so hot, you know? Like, if we pull up the net worths, it's probably, you know, yeah, that looks about right, you know? So, it's kind of hard to tell that in the game, but I feel like the tower situation is perfectly fine. I think the biggest thing here is that I would not buy an axe and go to the most passive jungle camp on the entire map. You know, that's pretty much, like, the number one resounding message here. So, like, I would do this. Maybe stack these 2 camps if I want, but I'm, like, advancing. I'm running here. I'm running to mid. I'm doing something, okay? I'm not passively jungling. It's okay to still farm if your team's maybe not playing around you or your team's, like, super weak or some shit, right? But we can't just, like, be super passive, because then... This net worth is effectively like the space making / space taking balance equation is these 3 guys against these 2 guys. Okay? Like, if you remove yourself from the picture. Okay? Like, that's not good. Right? The more shitty your game is in comparison to your other cores, the more passively you're allowed to play. That's just like a general message. Or general motto to go by. Okay, so in this game, you know, you should feel strong. You know, you're kind of owning. You're pretty much free farming. So don't play here. Basically, that's the TLDR. It's gonna be maybe a small mistake if we make our way top. Let's see what you end up doing. So you walk towards mid. We're gonna get a tower. Sweet. So yeah, it's not like it's terrible, you know? I'd say everything you're doing is pretty good. It's just maybe 5-10 seconds slow. Little detours along the way. We need to TP top and push that out. If you're winning, or if you're strong as a Bristle, this tower's not allowed to die. That's just... Okay. That is like 100% of games. Like, I want you to know that the hero's strongest trait in the early game, if he's winning, is that tower never dies. That is the best part about Bristle. It is literally the best part. So this is all set up by the fact that at 15 minutes, instead of jungling some camps, you should have gone and walked here. Okay? I want you to think, why is there no creeps? Okay, so I want you to think that this wave prevents you from running wherever you want. That's how I want you to envision it. It's like, if that wave is not pushed in away from your tier 1 tower, you do not have permission to do whatever the fuck you want. That is a timer / obligation, a chore that you must handle. So like right now, sure, like we've talked about how maybe you played a bit too passive, but you're near mid, so you're going to go be strong. That's perfectly fine, right? Let's go be strong towards mid. No problem here. You know, we're not going to like compound mistakes or whatever. So we're going to be towards mid. But then, if we're considering what we do now, because the fight's over. We took mid, fight's over, looking at the map. This should be like alarm bells, sirens going off, like fucking TP. Like, that is like unacceptable, right? This should be like, if this was hitting my tower already, I would have said already that I stayed too long. So, I TP top immediately. However long it takes you to TP top is how much of a failure you are in terms of playing the map. Just waiting. Just waiting. Top tower. Just kind of dying. Just dying. Oh, it's Jakiro's turn. I see. Okay, where are you at now? Okay. So now you're a super strong Bristleback that's missing your support cast because you didn't go top. So your, like, move to make your timing is now 4v5 rather than properly done. Now we're, like, super passive. I need to walk down lanes, my friend. I need you to walk down some lanes. So if you're going to go from here, I need you to now go here. And then I need you to go here. And then here. You know, I just need you to walk at lanes. I need the enemy to be responding. You are playing so passively. I know it may not look like the average carry gameplay, that this is passive, but you are a Bristleback. You're playing maybe like a 6 out of 10 right now, okay? I need it to be like a 9 or a 10. So that means always clearing waves, always like doing things that are setting you up to be aggressive or be aggressive. There's nowhere else to go. Like, nowhere less than this. Because, like, you're against Morphling. Once that guy gets a Scotty, you're fucked. You're against Lino. Once you get to Silver Edge, you're fucked. You can't trade with them, okay? Like, you can't trade farm in this game. That's not going to fucking work. What Bristleback does is run at people. And the difficulty of playing against Bristle is that he's fucking running at you at like 500 move speed, hitting for 400 damage with no items, and he's consistently slowing you. And it's like, well, this guy's fucking annoying, and then they can't farm because you're walking at them. So, like, if I saw somebody in their triangle, I would walk at them. If that guy, like, TP'd down here, I'd probably cut a wave and then walk right here. You know, I just walk the other way. It's like, okay, where's he going to go now? We TP'd away from me the first time. Where is he going to go now? I just want you to realize, like, I need you to have fucking red in your eyes, you know? I want blood. Like, I want these guys to fucking be scared. So I actually need you to realize by not pushing top, you've ruined your timing. And what's happening here is you want to be strong, but your team's here. Mm-hmm. This is supposed to be you conveniently, casually pushing QW 3 times and then walking away. It should take one hero, you, to push this lane. Nobody else should ever have to worry about it. Think about it, right? Like, nobody's gonna fuck with you. Nobody's gonna try to kill you. Like, if they try to kill you, they all die, right? Like, yeah, underneath your own tower.
I guess I see this tower as, like, it's perfect for Jakir to defend because you can just push Q on it and then walk away, right? But
No. So what happens here is if you don't take care of the tower, you want to run at people, and one of your teammates is up there.
Yeah. Okay.
That is the problem here. So yeah, if you are a carry and you can farm top lane, not giving a fuck. I don't care what hero you are. Do it every game. Mm-hmm. I don't care what hero it is. Bristle, Weaver, Lifestealer. These are Slark. If you're allowed to farm the top lane without giving a fuck, you can stay there for 25 minutes. I really don't care. Like, if you're farming this area and Ancients and shit like you were, you can do that for as long as you fucking want.
Yeah.
You will win the game. Like, I literally had a live coaching session on a jug, and I was like, we're going to leave here when they gank you or whatever. And they just never ganked him. So he just farmed the safe lane for 20 minutes. And then I had the live coaching session with a TA, I think it was last week, maybe the week before. He's like 600 MMR. And I was like, yeah, we're going to leave here when they bring like 4 heroes. And they just literally never did. And his team was losing like 18-5 or some shit. And then he just won. Okay, like he literally just won the fucking game because he was farming his own safe lane for 20 minutes. Like, this area is supposed to be dangerous and inefficient. Mm-hmm. But it is incredibly powerful to control it, okay? It is incredibly powerful. Most carries cannot, okay? If people are good, they'll either boot you out or your hero's just not capable of doing it, okay? But, like, if you are allowed to, make them make you leave. If you want to go, like, farm an Ancient stack real quick, sure. Now make your way back. You want to go farm these, like, quad stacks that were taken, like, right here? Sure. Now make your way back. You know, it's, like, fine to leave for a bit. You know, like, you don't have to, like, keep your heat map to be this circle. But it's like anywhere else you go means you go this way. You know, there's a magnet here just pulling you back. Okay?
Yeah.
It's really hard to really go in depth about how big of a deal it is. But for the sake of improvement for all carry players, yourself, and other people watching, clear this fucking wave if you're allowed to do it. And if you are doing it defensively, great. You're enabling yourself to farm here pretty safely. If you're doing it on a hero like Bristle, who's meant to be strong, great. It's either allowing you to invade triangle or just like TP to your team and run at some fucking people. Like, that's what it's allowing you to do. You're trying to run at the people without taking care of this wave. You'd be surprised. Even 2.7k players are like, I feel like we shouldn't be losing this tower. So then they go top. And then they leave you, okay? Like, that's actually, you know, exactly what happened here. It happens a lot. People seem to think every Dota player is fucking brain dead, but this shit's actually incredibly predictable. Like, the Dota community is really not that bad. Actually, I've done a lot of coaching and replay analysis. People behave pretty predictably. You know, sometimes they're a bit slow in the lower MMRs, but they usually behave, I'd say, above 2k. I'd say it's not complete chaos. Like, I can see what they're doing. You know, at 600 MMR, I was like, dude, you just gotta farm, man. These guys suck. Sorry guys that are Herald. So yeah, let's rewind. Yeah, I think actually the issue here is, so use Essence Ring. We're using Essence Ring, decent efficiency there. We're trying to go on this guy.
A dominating performance. Hello, this is Gabe Newell.
Yeah, I mean, the game's kind of over at that point. You kind of said it, but yeah, I'll be honest.
Well,
like,
after that, I feel like it's pretty bad.
It's pretty over, to be honest. Based on the way this game started, lost mid tower super early. Lina was super free farming. Morphling's not exactly a good carry matchup for Bristle. I mean, the thing is, Bristle's broke and Morphling's not, so it's like, you know, I'm fine to play Bristle into Morphling this patch, but it's because of the fact that you hit this insane timing that Morphling can't really fight into. Yeah, man, I'm telling you, this game's 100%. Like, I think you played the map very well for the first 15 minutes, and then you just left top. You will win this game way more often if you just kind of like do this
Yeah. Okay.
You'll win it way more often. It's really that simple. It's not always black and white, but I think this replay specifically is very black and white.
Because I'm trying to figure out, because it feels like in general you want to play the opposite side of the map as a carry, right?
Kind of. Let me look this up real quick. Actually, I made a video on this a while back. How to play slow farming carries, BSJ. There it is. Boom. How to play carries that don't farm fast. Here's the video. Maybe you watched it at one point. That's the video to refresh you a bit. I'm going to send it to chat as well. The idea behind this video, so you understand the context, is that if you really think about it, does Bristle's farming speed accelerate?
I mean, at what point?
Past level 7?
Not really.
No. That's the thing, is his farming rate's pretty much constant. Like, even Ags, like, sure, yeah, it accelerates you. But let's compare a Bristle Ag's acceleration compared to, like, any other carry in the game and what their 4K item would do for them. Right? Like, just compare it to literally any other carry's items. You are not accelerating. So this video, it's about how to play carries that don't farm fast. It's literally saying, to win games, you play this area. And as Bristle Radiant, you'd play this area. Like, you just invade them. You take away what makes them efficient. So if you're strong enough to do this, the heroes I gave in that video, I think were Weaver, Morphling, Lifestealer, all of which are similar when they're good in the game. Is like, if you do this, what happens is you'll like cut this wave, and then you run across the map at them over here, and then they TP back to base, and then you run back at them again. You know, like, you just run at them again. And the thing is, like, your hero is, like, doing the same farm speed across the map while they're not clearing very many creeps because you're running at them all the time. That's, like, how it works. Like, Weaver, Lifestealer, these heroes tend to, like, want to be up in the face of the opponent because the sheer threat of these heroes will bully a lot of heroes away. It's like, if Morphling's farming his triangle, you're not going to kill him, but he's going to run away from you. Right? So, it's not good for us to farm our own triangle and have Morphling farm his own. We want to run into his triangle, make him farm 0 creeps, and we can take the leftovers. You know? That kind of thing. That's, like, the mindset we want to have. So, you asked about, like, carries generally playing the other half of the map. TLDR, that area that I'm telling you to play is the most aggressive. Right? And Bristleback is a very aggressive carry. Sometimes you'll have a rougher lane, so you'll have to play a bit more passive. But like the second you're strong, we need to start aiming for that area as soon as possible. Right? All I'm thinking about is what prevents me from barreling down a lane with my team. And most of the time, it's your own safe lane that prevents you from barreling down lanes, if you think about it. Right? Most of the time, it's the opponent pressuring that lane. Somebody on your team teleports away, and then you guys can't be aggressive. The map is like... the map is in a way that if you're Radiant, you push top. If you're Dire, you push bottom. And if you're trying to make things happen, you need to make sure the other team isn't pushing that respective lane. Because that's how they're going to distract you. That's going to be how they split you up. So as heroes like Bristle, it's like once you have Brown Boots Ags, you're not specifically good at killing objectives. You know what I mean? Like, you're okay, but like you're not fast yet. You know, it's like the Treads AC, and suddenly you're like fucking chunking shit. You know, you're just you're killing everything. So at that point, you can maybe just barrel down lanes. But when you have Brown Boots Ags, you kind of got to like walk at areas the enemy team would want to play. You know, just walk at them, and they can't really do much about it. The reason why heroes like Coddle are Bristle's worst matchups is because they can push lanes without interacting with Bristle. That's like what makes Bristle annoying, is the fact that most heroes want to push the lane and Bristle walks at them and they can't push the lane. You know? That's why I think Coddle is Bristle's worst matchup, because he just blasts away from 1,000 range and ignores the Bristle. It's like Bristle runs at him, he just blinding lights him, TP's bottom, you know? And then he does it down there. And then you try to chase him and his TP's cooldown is already available. And then he TP's back. even like a hero like Batrider, even though it's like kind of annoying, it's like to clear the wave, Batrider has to Firefly on top of it. So what do? We kind of just walk at him. It's like, kind of annoying. Heroes like Wyvern are also Bristle's worst matchup. Why? Clear the wave from 1,000 range. Crazy. Same idea. Embrace that concept. I hope I'm not just rambling to you. I hope I'm like still helping. Do you have another replay in mind? What do you want to do? That's about. We've spent about half an hour on that replay, so we have the option to do a live game. We can watch Arteezy's perspective. We can do another replay. I'm perfectly fine doing whatever. I'm just throwing out ideas.
Arteezy's on Alk. Let's watch Arteezy.
Okay. Yeah, so this is basically going to be, BSJ plus Doc's cast here, but more so just a discussion about the game.
Yeah, and I feel like these programs they're hard to, like, for me to just look at because they're always playing out weirdly. But
playing out weirdly?
Playing out weirdly. Like, it's easier to just pick a good player and watch a pub of theirs than to,
So we're going to be on a bit of a delay. If you guys have the other stream on, you'll probably know what happens ahead of time, so it's up to you. I would recommend you probably turn it off for the sake of the coaching session. You obviously knew he was on Alk, so you were watching the stream. But yeah, so I actually thought this was a cool idea. I wasn't sure if you'd be down for it. It's totally fine if you weren't. I just love watching. Like, one of the best ways I learned was watching pro matches and just kind of like thinking to myself what I would do. Or like what I would be thinking about, and kind of just seeing how it compares to whatever that guy's doing, So I think how we can do this, I just want to make sure you get something more than just me talking about the game, is any moment you want to ask a question, go ahead. We can rewind the replay and see what he did, Like, I can even rewind the replay myself and show you things I really want to emphasize that he does. I think what Arteezy does well is just like little things that accelerate his farm. I think he's really good at these things. So I actually have not watched Arteezy's perspective probably in like 6 months or some shit. It's been a little while. So I used to study like Arteezy as my main guy way back in the day. But yeah, let's check him out. So we already know what he's against. He's against Beastmaster. So this is an example where I look at his team, and they don't really have good D-push. They have like Puck Orb and maybe like Fatal Bonds, and that's about it. But if like the enemy like wraps around the tower, they're kind of like forced to get out. So I think the reason why they picked Alk is he's specifically good like acid spraying towers and like defending them and stuff. And then I would say, though, that Alk is not ideal just because they have kind of a lot of single target stuff. But I will say that EG also has a lot of like counter initiation with the Warlock Golem and the Clockwork Hook. And having like a BKB AC carry is pretty nice with Death Prophet specifically, I'd say. You kind of just group up and kill shit. Was Bristle banned?
5 seconds.
Wow, I would have definitely picked Bristle here. It's interesting.
I don't know how much they've played Bristle on.
Yeah,
PTS.
It doesn't seem like an Arteezy hero, I guess. I mean, I don't know. It's like, maybe it's not an Arteezy hero, but Bristle's like broken as fuck. So,
yeah.
Kind of weird they didn't pick it. Does Entity pick Bristle themselves? It's not the best for his Death Prophet. Don't spoil.
I don't know.
What do they play here? It's probably mid-tiny, safe lane Bane +1. Oh, Razor. Okay. I forget it's Entity. They're gonna pick some fucking offlaner. Is what they're gonna do. I think Bristle's kind of an offlaner, but not the same. Okay, so we're gonna kind of have to be like selective about when we go in. I think Vision's really important in this game. If he ever like blinked in and gets like slept and linked, the fight's kind of over, on Arteezy. So we're gonna have to be very selective about our fights. playing around our own vision, probably letting the Clockwork go first. You know, create some havoc for us. Let him provide us with some information. But yeah, let's just check out and see what RTZ does. Those are kind of my initial thoughts. Do you have any like initial thoughts on what you see for the lane? You're against Beastmaster Wyvern. Anything you're thinking? Maybe you don't play against Beast very often.
No, definitely not. No one knows how to play that hero with my armor. It's really funny.
That's good for you because I hate Beast.
It is good for me. It's great for me, actually. Well, this is kind of because we just went over my game with a Warlock 5, right? It is 5. Yeah,
it is Warlock 5. You'd go landing with Warlock.
It's like, I think that's cool because whenever I play Alk, I like the goal is like trying to make it to level 6. And sometimes it's really hard, but it's going to be a bit easier with Warlock.
Yeah, I like sustain 5s with Alk. It goes well when you're pushing. It goes well in lane. I mean, Alk at the end of the day can be a kill hero because of his stun, but he also just enjoys acid spraying the wave and trading. You know, so heal supports are generally nice. I think Dazzle, Warlock are quite nice with Dazzle or with Alk. Whenever I have heal supports, I usually want a carry that is also like somewhat aggressive. You know, so. To kind of like a hero that's somewhat aggressive in the game, you know, like Spectre's not aggressive in lane, but like Warlock Spectre is a pretty classic one because in the game she kind of represents like an aggressive playstyle. She gives her team the ability to hunt with Haunt,
like
and
a
stuff.
+1 for anything.
Yeah, exactly. So like Warlock Drow is not a lane, you know what I mean? It's like, you know, that's like a backlining chill carry. Well, we want a guy that goes the fuck in. That's all I know. But okay, so they're doing some little... Obviously, you're not going to learn much from this, but... maybe we're going to see like an aggro tri-lane is what they're doing. Maybe they're trying to dodge the Beast. I would imagine... I mean, Death Prophet doesn't really like playing against Beast either. We'll see what they're doing. I mean, as Alk, I'm totally down to be a part of a level 1 engagement. You're pretty strong. He went Stick.
Yeah.
Sub?
Both your stun and your spray are both really good.
Yeah, the spray is good for territory control, and stun's good for killing somebody. Looks like they're doing normal lanes. He was just maybe looking for an opportunity. Usually when I go Stick on Alk, I actually talked to my other coaching session student today about this. I usually will go Concoction if I go Stick, level 1. Yeah. Otherwise, I'll run out of mana. I'll go Acid Spray if I don't go Stick. We'll see if RTZ follows that. Maybe he's going to do the one thing I told my student not to do. Let's find out.
Hey, play Alk in the off lane?
You know, it's a little bit of lane swapping. It's not going to be like too much different in terms of like what we're learning from Alk, but obviously in a pub you can't be like, hey off lane guy, let's swap lanes. That's not going to fucking work.
Oh, you lose every time. It's hilarious.
Yeah. Okay, so he instantly dragged to his range. One thing to note is if the opponent's late to lane, I love dragging to my range immediately because you're just killing a creep off. So that's something he did. Always capitalize on people being late to lanes. They are doing some weird shit. I don't know how much we can learn from this one for now, but they are trying to avoid lane matchups. I guess they wanted Alk versus Beast, and they thought Entity was going to swap. I'm assuming that's what happened.
He doesn't want a TP?
If you TP, they TP. Generally speaking, when lane swaps are happening, you walk from lane to lane. It's kind of sad. Usually, Warlock would be laning, though. Oh, did Fly drag? Oh, Fly dragged. Oh, that's clever. I mean, this is shit that you'll just never see, though. Okay. So now we've started our lane just, you know, a minute and a half late. Whatever. He's going full Soul Ring. Okay. Beastmaster getting a good start. That kind of sucks. But he's blocking real hard. He knows the lane's like too far forward. I mean, it is important to note when the lane's really far forward and you can't do too much about it, that you can always walk back. Like if you were already laning right here, you could always like walk back and try to block. Because it just delays the time that your creeps take to get here. Yeah. So they're doing like a Fatal Bonds Acid Spray. And this is an example of a lane where, since he's losing, I use Acid Spray as like a fuck off spell. That's what I call it, is a fuck off spell. It's just like, notice what Acid Spray did for him there, like if we just rewind, right? It's like, Beastmaster's level 2, Wyvern's queuing him. He's just like, I don't want to deal with you fucks. And he just like walks up and clears the wave, right? He's like, the Fatal Bonds makes it hard for the opponent to ever contest him, and Beastmaster's also low base armor. But the whole idea of that move was to just say, I want this creep wave with literally no interaction. So obviously it sucks to push the wave out, but if it was already pushing in this case, and if you feel like you're going to get more farm by pushing it out with Acid Spray than you are by just keeping it near your tower or whatever, then Acid Spray is better. So that's what he was thinking there. Doesn't matter if we're not exactly live, I would say. So he's actually channeling a stun, looking for... What's he doing with this? Was he actually... No, he actually... That was actually clever by Saberlight. Saberlight purposely walked to the range. Did you see that? That was cool. Okay.
Yeah, so we could deny it.
Yeah, that was actually fucking clever as hell. Would not have thought of that. So we're getting fucking outplayed right now.
Hello, I'm Gabe Newell. You've just achieved...
Let's go in A.
Thanks.
Let's go in A! Copium. So, in this case, he could either Acid Spray to contest the range or just give it up. And that's his two choices. He chose to give it up. I think if he had more resources, he would have Acid Sprayed. Oh, he just popped his salve with Acid Spray. Okay. That's what he did there. Usually when I buy Soul Ring really early on carries, I do exactly what Arteezy did here, where I buy myself a salve.
Yeah.
It basically enables like 3 Soul Ring usages. You know, that's kind of how I think about it. To buy a salve. So the salve effectively represents, you know, 400 mana. It's pretty efficient, right? For the gold cost. It's kind of similar on Bristle. It's like if I buy a earlier Soul Ring after Ring of Health instead of Vanguard, then maybe I'll go for an extra set of Tangos or Salve. So Beastmaster's got Helm of Iron Will. He just checked his items. So whenever the offlaner does something where it's like, I don't think we're winning the trades anymore, you know? Whatever he has. It can be a lot of different things. But I'm pretty sure when I check the Helm of Iron Will here, I'm thinking like, trades are over, you know? We've lost the lane in the sense that this Beastmaster is not going to get pressured. So notice how he's pretty much just defensively aggroing now. No more channeled stuns, no more attempts at being aggressive. His support's getting gone on in his response to hit some creeps, right? You know, it's like he's not trying to help, he's not trying to make up for it. Like, it's really important to see that, you know? You see that the offlaner is unpressurable, just don't ruin your game, you know? Keep your mindset here. Or keep your calm, cool, collected mindset here. He's actually gonna go phase.
That's actually something I have no idea. I basically randomly choose between phase and
Phase is really good against chase heroes. He's against 2 slows in lane. Both of these heroes have slows. The Beastmaster Boar and the Wyvern Q. But then also later the Razor. So, I mean, Phaser will give you a boost of movement speed, right? While Treads kind of intend that you're going to stand your ground and hit people. So, against, like, Razor, Bane, Wyvern, you know, a bunch of the single-target disables, you're not really looking to, like, press ult, press BKB, and stand your ground, you know? There's going to be a lot of, like, kiting back and forth in the fight. And that's when Phaser generally good. It also applies to the lane, you know? Like, notice how move speed would kind of help him out here. I think if he was not having a Warlock, he probably would have bought boots first. But since he has a Warlock, he's allowed to buy, like, the Chainmail, get harassed, and then healed up. The boots would be more like a stay away from the opponent kind of situation. But he probably went the Chainmail because it makes the heal from Warlock more effective, right? He has more EHP. Well, yeah, he's kind of just getting dicked on. Looks like he's dead. That was kind of set up for a while now. I don't think there's... I'm kind of looking at it with you, and maybe you disagree, but I don't think there's much you could have done, you know? I feel like the lane kind of just sucks. The fact that they were late to lane, maybe they just got outmaneuvered in the lane setup.
Yeah.
But, I mean, for you specifically, if you just lose your lane, sometimes you just gotta eat the fucking dust, you know? Or bite the dust.
Yeah.
Just kind of accept that this lane fucking sucks. He's not really buying any lane items. Like, phase isn't really a lane item. It can be, especially if you're, like, winning. But, I really do think the phase this case is just so, like, if he's getting ganked by a Razor, he's gonna, like, run the fuck away. That's kind of the idea. The opponent actually lacks stuns. Their only stuns are big ultimates. So if they're, like, trying to gank him early to mid-game, unless he's getting, like, Fiend's Gripped, he can definitely use the phase boots active, so... okay, so he's gonna get the phase. At this point, you kind of just surrender the lane to the offlaner, right? You're like, I definitely can't walk up against Beastmaster 6. Saberlight's actually doing some cute shit here. Is he just going to abandon the tower? That's the question. So, like, here, I'd be thinking, like, am I defending this tower, or am I just completely abandoning it? Yeah. And I would argue that if I was, like, 100 XP off 6, that I would probably defend this tower, right? Because, the creep wave's going to die, I'm going to get 6. But in this case, it just so happens that the Beastmaster got 6 before you. I mean, every lane is really can come down to the wire like that, you know? Like, if he was 6 before Beast, he's going to defend this tower. But since Beast is 6 before him. But now he's doing the whole thing where since he's 200 XP off 6, he's going to go defend the tower.
Yeah. I mean, I saw Saberlight, he was dragging the wave, and then he stopped, and he kind of met them before they would have met anyways. Which was... Because, like, it seems like if he dragged the wave, like, behind, then Arteezy just kind of gets that for free.
Yeah. I mean, Saberlight's doing some cool things. I mean, that's, like, these little things are just eking out advantages. And the thing as a carry, right, is when you're losing, I mean, this applies to any role, but when you're losing, you kind of just react to whatever the other guy's doing. So Saberlight made a move that let him do a lot more damage with the previous creep wave, but then set up to, like, deny an entire creep wave because he pulled, like, 8 creeps back to here, right? So notice how Arteezy went into lane for like 1 wave, and then he just kind of left. And that's just Arteezy reacting to what Saberlight is doing. You know, it's like, if you're losing, is the opponent allowing me to go defend this tower? And if yes, then yeah, I'm going to go defend it. If the answer is no, then so be it. You'll notice that the offlaners will have a choice to play really greedy, where they like cut the wave and drag it into small camp, or if they just prioritize pushing the tower. Just note that if they're prioritizing pushing the tower, especially if they're heroes that don't push very fast, like Viper and shit, they're going to lose out on gold. You know, it will hurt them. So if they're clearly all about getting the tower, just let them have it if you're feeling a bit behind, you know? He's just chilling. So he went to phase, but that's the minimum investment he's going to have. He's just going to go straight for the Radiance afterwards. So whenever we lose our safe lane tower, especially as Alk, we need to be concerned about our mid. So he's kind of lingering towards mid tower. If you feel really strong, you'd play like this area. But if you feel behind, you're going to play this area with the intent to rotate if the enemy pushes. Like, that's exactly what you would do in your games.
Oh my god, look at all of those skeletons.
Yeah, it's a lot of skellies. But this is exactly Alk's job in the game, right here. This is why they picked it. This is what the hero does. You know, the thing about Alk that's compared to like a PA, for instance, is he defends his own farm. You know, he's able to influence the opponent from taking towers. So it really sucks. This looks inefficient. It's not ideal, but this is what you have to do if you're in a hard game of Alk. You know, or if you're in an Alkin game in general, if the opponent's trying to take your tower, you have to do this. Super important. If you're in like a good game, you're probably like farming the entire triangle and then doing this. But since he's in a bad game, you know, he's just sitting mid and acid spraying it. That's kind of the difference there. I don't know how often you prioritize your own mid tower as Alk, but it's definitely very important for your decision making. Yeah, so a little bit of breathing room. The opponent's not ramming their throat or ramming their heroes down their throats in the mid lane. He's just looking at the fights. I would actually go top here if I were him. Yep, he's gonna run towards top, I guess. This is a situation.
I do this all the time, and I hate myself for it. This is when I'm like, dang, I really need. I need to go hit that wave, but I can't stop hitting this jungle. That's what it feels like.
No, it's a good point. When you're in a bad game, I think the question is whether or not that tower is gonna die. Okay, you want to think of your tower's life as a resource, you know? Like, think of it as, like, every second you spend in the jungle, you're paying your tower's HP for it. he's having like a really rough game, and what's really important is him getting his radiance. So notice how mid tower, he refused to hit any creeps, right? Like his only mindset was, I'm gonna acid spray this fucking creep wave. But for this tower, he didn't really care that much. He prioritized a stack efficiency over actually defending the tower from the catapult, for instance. You know what I mean? So it just kind of shows like you can prioritize different objectives differently. That decision between jungle camps and waves is definitely situational based on what tower you're defending. But this is like, I mean, I literally talked to this guy in my coaching session earlier about ALK. Like, this is the exact definition of a nightmare ALK game, you know? Like, we're losing all of our towers. Our team is fighting 4v5. But as long as we hold, we're chilling. So all I'm thinking about as ALK is, yes, maybe this game sucks. But as long as I get to farm this area, and if I need to acid spray mid, I will. Otherwise, being chilling, you know? And the reason is there's nothing else we can do. So I'm just surprised he's not stacking Ancients. I'm actually surprised about that.
I feel like sometimes when I stack Ancients around now, I try to take the stack and then die. Or almost die and then hate it.
So this is an example where, like, I would be thinking to stack Ancients. Perhaps he's talking about what you said. Maybe he's not strong enough to farm an Ancients stack. Maybe this is like a mind game thing. This is like purely theoretical. Maybe he thinks if he stacks it enough, the opponent will find it worth their time to invade. Which, in that case, he doesn't actually want to give them incentive to come to the triangle. So it's like he knows that it would create an objective for the opponent, and he doesn't think he's strong enough to defend it. Yeah. I will say about carry is that if you show on creep waves, a lot of times people run at you, right? Yep. So sometimes there's times where you would like to push waves, but if you show on that creep wave, you know you'll get ganked or people will try to bully you out, so I'd actually just not farm the wave. That's an example of a decision I will make. So purely theoretical what I just said about RTZ, but it could be right. Absolutely could be right. I'm not just bullshitting.
I mean, it sounds good. I mean, you can't really take the stack until he has Radiance, so...
Yeah, exactly. So maybe they'll stack it like 15 minutes, perhaps? Maybe. But notice how he's probably going to TP here for like 1 or 2 waves. And what happened before this? Like, why did he TP here? You know, this is like an important reasoning. So what happened was he pushed this wave. Clockwork was kind of scouting out. Razor, Bane are top. So he sees a decent amount of entity in the top lane. And that kind of... Okay, he sees 4 heroes. And then he TPs. You know? I've talked about this. You only TP to your own tier 2 when the opponent shows so many heroes that you feel safe to do it, okay? That's like a perfect example of this 2 to tier 2 mid. So his status quo has been this area for like the last 5 minutes, and then the enemy brought 4 heroes, and he goes here. When you were Bristle, it was the complete opposite, you know? Yeah. You were on Dire, it should be status quo here until like 4 heroes show up, and then you like run across the map, you know? Because you were strong. But in this out game, he's really weak, so he's actually just reacting to what the opponent's doing rather than forcing a reaction and going the other way. You know what I mean? Okay, so...
He's gonna ult just to walk faster.
Yeah, he's literally ulting to walk faster. That's funny. Maybe he thought he might get ganked too, you never know. But probably just to walk faster. Yeah, Kobold. Top tower is under attack. Okay. Is he going to stack the Ancients now that he has Relic? I feel like that's a mistake. I feel like that's a mistake to not stack Ancients there.
I think so.
I mean, to be honest, pro players actually make a decent amount of mistakes in pro games. It's just harder to play properly in this environment. He's also under a lot of pressure. He has to be thinking about getting ganked at all times. But yeah, resume duty. Duty of Soul Ring acid spraying the mid wave. But he's actually afraid of Bane, so he's not. He's still going to try. Okay, he does it. Lose the tower, though. But in a hard game, we managed to hold mid-tower until 15 minutes. That's not too bad. This is a really cool move. You can, like, drag the mid-wave to the opposite side of where the opponent is coming. You can do that at any time. Alk's a really good mid-wave clearer, so this is something you can really get in the habit of. If your judgment of mid lane is accurate, it shows a lot about map awareness. So, like, whenever you farm mid lane, you'll want to position your hero away from where the opponent is controlling. So, you know, mid lane's kind of like, obviously it's in the middle of the map, so sometime... What?
Killing spree.
That's cool that he dragged it.
See? Rather than farming underneath his own tower where he could get jumped from right here, he's pulling it to a high ground, right? Which is kind of cool. That's what I mean by the little things. A lot of these carry players make minute movements that make whatever they're doing just a bit safer, you know? They're just that much harder to gank. It adds up, you know? I'd say every time you could be ganked, it's kind of like that 10% chance that you're going to die. And they're trying to prevent that 10% chance from dying, right? Yeah. Okay, so now that he's got the Radiance, I talked about this in my earlier session, he's using Acid Spray to drag a creep wave from far away. God, fucking motorcycles. Sorry. And now he can defend towers on his own, because he saw a bunch of heroes top. Kill the catapult, Arteezy. You're gonna miss the last hit. Okay, this guy sucks. Who are we watching? Why are we learning from this?
We should be watching Saberlight. He's on it.
We should. He's fucking Giga Chad. Okay, so what's he gonna do now is the question. The opponent is invading his triangle, right? That's what he saw. So it's a matter of, you know, a lot of people would naturally retreat to their base, but the actual correct move is to advance on the map, assuming it's inconvenient for the opponent to leave their objectives. Like, if the opponent's invading your triangle, they would have to TP like 4 heroes here to kill you, which is just weird for them to do. So make yourself inconvenient for the opponent when they're taking objectives. That's exactly what he's doing here. And not inconvenient in the sense that, like, no inconvenience in the sense that if they're ganking you, they're not doing the objective. That's what I mean. So it looks like he's probably a little bit afraid of, like, Bane setting up on him or something. That seems to be what he's afraid of. Notice how he could have cleared that wave, but he purposely didn't show in lane. That's exactly what I was just telling you about. So if the opponent's, like, taking objectives or pushing towers, then you have to be afraid of towards the end of it, right? Towards the end of that objective. You know, when the tower is like a 4th HP, when Roche is like a 4th HP, you have to be careful of showing yourself, because that's when they'll look to TP on you, right? Because they're going to be like, oh, we're finishing this objective, go chase the Alk. And that's exactly what he did there. He didn't show on the wave. In this case, he's only showing on the wave because his whole team's here. We're actually going to look for a little play here. I want you to know that he actually set up this play by consistently playing this part of the map. Obviously, a little bit of a failure on that stun. But plays like this are purely to force reactions. Is he going to TP out? Ah, Sedge. So to note that play was purely to make Entity chase them. That's what it was for. When you make these type of plays, when you're behind, it's really important to make these plays. In this case, it obviously didn't work, but it is the best play. Ideally, he just doesn't blink stun himself and gets away, you know. But just note, if it makes you feel better, Arteezy's like 11k MMR and just blink stunned himself and died, so, you know, shit happens. The idea of his play is definitely important, though. Because that could have been a... Like, if Entity is flowing in one at a time, that's definitely, like, EG's best chance to win a fight. It just didn't work out that time. Where does he go now? Entity's all bottom. They forced a bunch of TPs there. The question is, do they contest bottom, or does he run top? But the Tiny with Aegis is actually top right now. So they're like, okay, we can't give up this tower because this Tiny with Aegis is top. Yeah, BG gets to suck each other's dicks here in the bottom lane. If you don't feel safe enough to go out on your own, that's the life of a carry. To hold your teammates' hands, hope for the best. Okay, they're gonna go on the Warlock. Oh! Oh, nice. Aww. GG. Okay, so he's gonna kite back a little bit. He still has ult.
I'd say wicked sick.
Honestly, they have buyback on clock. Coil. Okay, look how patient he is. This might work out. This actually might work.
Oh no.
It's not gonna work. He was gonna blink in, and then he got clipped by Razor's Q, which is like really annoying. And And he's gonna leave. Instant TP away. Fuck this shit. Arteezy says. Me farm. Team. Make space. Instantly prioritizes the wave. Doesn't even think he has time for the catapult, so he just clears it. You have to assume when you do this kind of shit as carry that the opponent's gonna chase you. You just, like, have to assume. He's on a timer. He's like, I gotta clear these camps that are aggressive and then get the fuck out. Run. Bane is missing. Run. He's like, God, clear this camp. Butt clenched. Butt clenched. I guarantee you that's what he's thinking. Dude, Arteezy, don't run that way! No, Arteezy! Oh!
A dominating performance.
Oh no, Arteezy! Oh no.
Oh, this doesn't look good.
Oh no. Oh shit. Well,
Killing spree. Ownage.
there's a thought that counts, Arteezy.
Space created?
In all honesty, it kind of is. Like, he kind of has to do this. Like, notice how far behind he is when you're in weird games? The thing is that Entity's responding really well. Like, they saw Arteezy's TP top and they 3-man smoked instantly, right? That is what happened. They did that instantly. It's like in your games, if you mimic what Arteezy's doing here, when, like, the opponent's grouping up bottom and you TP top, you take the aggressive camps and farm backwards. If they were to try to make any sort of similar move, you'll probably get away, you know? Because your 2K opponents are not going to do that shit instantly and run at you. So, but I guarantee you it's not really that far off. A lot of these moves that these teams make, 2K players will make the same moves. They just do it like at the speed of a fucking snail in comparison. So, still stuff to learn from this. I know pro games look a little weird, but yeah, I mean, it's not too abnormal for supports with stuns to try to gank you after they see you TP somewhere. Okay, so looking like EG is going to be going home.
Monster kill.
Near airport is what I believe NA stands for.
I thought it meant near Arlington Airport, not needed.
Oh, I see. Copium or some shit. Okay, so I actually don't know how EG plays this. I don't know what the play is.
Is he just... It looks like he's just abandoning BKB, or his stuff's just in a weird order. But
he could be. He may be at the point of desperation where they think without AC they don't do enough damage to actually kill anybody, even if he has a BKB. Here's the move. Here's the comeback chance. Will
Do it with flair.
EG. Nope. Blind hook from Crit doesn't work. Arteezy has stunned himself more than opponents this game.
Surprise.
Yeah, but really not much to think about here. It's your coaching session. I feel like this game's kind of over, so if we want to go do something else, I'm happy to, but it's up to you. I know you want to watch EG on the side. I don't think there's too much for you to learn any further from this replay, or this live game, to be honest.
I mean, yeah, I guess everything that happens now is going to be like weird pro game stuff.
It's going to be weird pro game stuff, and EG is going to lose in about 10 minutes, so...
Have you spoiled yourself?
No, I have not. I'm going to go do it now. Did they lose yet? I would expect they lost.
That the Alp
Indeed, they
wasn't
lost.
able to
Cool.
get that
No,
bomb.
Good thought. Good
All
thought.
right, now we know.
Arteezy went 0-5. No, he's going to die 2 more times and they're going to lose the game. Fantastic. Spoiler alert. Sorry, guys. Okay, so we've got about half an hour left. So what I did earlier was I talked to a guy, my coaching student. He wanted to learn about ALK specifically. So we spent most of the coaching session on that. So I'd say if you have any like detailed questions on ALK, I would actually just watch that, so we don't have to spend your like 30 minutes on that.
Yeah, that's...
Do you have a hero that you're looking to learn? Do you have another replay in mind? What do you want to do for the last 30 minutes? What are you thinking?
I'll give you another replay of a hero that I used to play a decent amount of Terrorblade, but I've always had a not high win rate. So I played a game recently.
Terrorblade? Okay.
Terribly. And also, he's just in the major all the time. And for some reason, I only play heroes that are being picked in pro games all the time. That's just how it works.
I mean, you should. I mean, that's my biggest recommendation. I think picking meta heroes is just strictly better. But if you don't know how to play them, you'll lose. So,
yeah, I think in general, I guess I have the mechanical skill available for this hero at least. But
I think Terrorblade's pretty easy on a scale of 1 to 10 in terms of mechanics. I'd say he's like a 4.
Yeah.
Like he's got illusions, but he's not that hard. Yeah. So always keep in mind I do have a Terrorblade guide.
Oh yeah.
So definitely check that out after this. But if you're really looking to pursue TB, the thing is, if you're looking to learn heroes that are high level or like being picked at the high levels, pick them like 10, 15 times or just don't. You know, that's like for any viewers who don't watch me all the time, guys, I have wasted many a games where I get my one anti-mage game in for the patch. You know, I have 200 games of anti-mage, but it's once per month for the last 10 years. You know, it's like you don't learn anything when you do that. You end up like repeating the same mistakes because you didn't build any habits. So that's my recommendation. You're against Axe, a little bit of an annoying lane.
Yeah.
For Battle Hunger.
I thought this was just like a terrible TB game after everything ended up.
I wouldn't say it's terrible. They have pretty much all physical damage in your TB, so. Okay, pulling those creeps is a grief. Need to make sure our range gets denied. Oh no! Oh no! Biggest thing about TB is getting that range creep denied, so the lane's in a good spot. Now the lane's pushed and you don't have meta. Oh no! Oh dear. You see what I saw there, right? Like this is just
I understand.
Yeah, this move right here, not allowed. Not allowed here. Not allowed to do this. Absolutely not allowed. All that mattered was this range creep right here got killed. That was all that mattered.
I mean, luckily the X has spit, but
yeah, either way, he's still gonna fuck you. It doesn't change anything. You literally fucked yourself. It's cool. It's fine. You just took like 300 damage for free. Because it's all lane equilibrium shit. Like, you couldn't really do much differently now. You not getting that range grip killed cost you like 400 HP. Just remember that. Okay. I think the Glove of Haste is pretty greedy. Terrorblade has no attack speed issues. I either always go Boots or Band of Elven Skin. This hero does not need the Glove of Haste first. Pretty much ever. You went and cleared the wave and then left. Okay. You're done here, man. Time to jungle. You're out of here. You have no meta, low resources, against an annoying lane. Time to piece the fuck out, bro. See you later, lane. Nice. Good, good, good. She's denied his tree. Okay. Yep, we're out of here. Very cool. I wouldn't even go to these camps. That's where Enchantress would be. Yikers. I would stick to these camps, my man. I would just stay over here. If you leave the lane like this, you need to make the 4 be inconvenienced to chase you, my friend.
Okay.
Really think about it that way.
I guess that makes sense. I get chased sometimes, and then I just hate myself.
But yeah, it's like if they're gonna chase you, make them chase you all the way over there rather than just being here.
Yeah.
The only reason you play here is because you intend to maybe return to lane. Like that's why you would play there. So the way I look at that is that if my 5 gets gone on, I would want to counterplay it.
Yeah.
There's absolutely lanes that fit that description. This is not one of them, okay? You're against Enchantress Axe. This guy has a Vanguard. This lane's fucking over, dude. Just let it go. You are scaring me. Okay. So we're actually going to push the lane. That actually worked out kind of decently. Pudge making a rotation.
What a guy.
What a man. Okay, so we need to fly ourselves some of those Bands of Elven Skins, my friend. Bands of Elven Skin. 6 agility. Open inventory slot.
Would you go D-Lance here?
Probably. For the extra HP against these heroes. I'd probably go it. Okay, so I would be... I wouldn't be stacking, by the way. I don't stack on illusion heroes. It doesn't really do much. Because you just do this. Sit there. Yeah, don't stack. Don't stack on illusion heroes. Yikers. Okay, so all the opponent is here. You're gonna move this way. Make our way towards bottom lane. Very cool. Okay. Fight going on top. We'd love to look at it, but we're not. That's okay, but just keep that in mind that you should be. Farm our way backwards. Not quite strong enough to send illusions down lane yet, I would say. We want them to still be with us. Kind of like you're doing. Okay, so bottom lane's gonna push back into us. We see our guy getting killed. Mini, oh, he got away. Very cool. Bottom lane's ours. Go bottom. Go, go, go. Who gives a fuck about the shaman? Go bottom. Where are you going? Go bottom.
Mid shadow shaman.
No. No cares. No cares. Go to the lane. That's your farm, dude. He's right next to you. That guy just griefed you, man. Take the farm.
Killing spree.
Oh gosh. Okay. Well, you definitely need to get better at kiting back. Definitely need to be better at that. Usually, what you'll do is meta from here, attack it once, walk all the way over here, and then attack it on the way back. Do some like little kiting game with meta. Yeah, you're making me scared. So you're gonna go to base. I don't hate it. I think this is a terrible Manta game. I will say that much.
Yeah.
Not good against Axe, not really good against Legion. I'd probably go Dragonlance Scotty here. Probably good I'd go. I'm just curious. So how many heroes do you see?
One.
Okay.
I feel like, I don't know, because I definitely knew they were there. I don't know why I...
Yeah, I mean, it's based on what I see. I see 3 of your heroes bottom. I saw 1 enemy hero here, 1 here, and 1 here. This is just like map awareness level potato. I actually, I don't have any response to this other than like, what? You're like, no, let's just proceed as normal. And then you just walked up. Shit happens, man. People space out. The most important thing about every hard farm and carry is to have a consistent sense of who's where, you know? If you don't have it, that's what happens. You can forget for 20 seconds. That's what happens, okay? It's a tough game. But if I were you, I probably would have walked to mid, is what I would have probably done, rather than TPing top. Never TP for your frickin' items, my friend. You TP'd, I believe, to the secret shop to pick up an item. That's, you have a courier for that. And your hero's a little bit more powerful than a courier, so you can use your courier for that. Need you to look at fights a bit more. Okay. Yeah, I can obviously tell you're uncomfortable on Terrorblade. That's totally fine.
Yeah.
So you die here. Big fight top. So, Terrorblade's a cool hero. And the reason why he's a cool hero is because even though he has an ultimate-based ability, like the Metamorphosis, even though it's not an ultimate, it basically is, right? So, it's an ability that if you fight without it, you're really bad. But the difference between Terrorblade and, like, Void, for instance, is that Terrorblade heavily influences the map, okay? The hero can clear multiple waves at once and make it so he can kind of choose his fights in most games, okay? So it's like, yeah, some games are really rough. But, dude, you see 3 heroes mid, there's a wave to clear bottom, go clear the fucking wave bottom. You know, so we're gonna go clear this wave. They're showing a bunch of heroes mid. We have a TP available. Please keep walking to the right.
Yeah,
please keep walking to the right.
I feel like on TV I just have this stupid urge to like hit people.
Yep, I don't know. This is just push bottom. The point of your illusions, conceptually, is they are between you and your opponent. That's what they're there for. Okay, so you have 2 options here, actually. Like 2 realistic options. You send your illusions through the jungle to actually farm the camps. And they'll also scout the enemy coming from mid. If you think it's more likely that the opponent is pushing mid and somebody TP'd here, you can actually farm this wave with your hero and send an illusion down the wave. Right? To like catch the next one. Catch the next wave. And it's going to serve as your scout. But the last thing you should ever do is see heroes here, send an illusion this way, and walk your hero here. That makes no sense, right? If you think about it. Your illusions are literally moving wards that can farm things, right? That is what they are. So if you're an illusion hero and you're sending illusions away from enemy heroes and your hero towards them, this is what you're going to look like. He's literally dead on my screen. That is what's going to happen, okay? So, yeah, this is fundamentally incorrect on TV.
All right. I think that's what I've been missing on TV. I'm down to go next replay. How much time do we have?
Cool. We got 15 minutes.
Perfect. Just enough time.
Check out that Terrorblade guide as well. It'll go along.
Yeah.
One of my better heroes.
Yeah.
Make sure you have your hotkeys set up. Make sure, you keep in mind your illusions are wards, and I think it'll already be pretty day and night. So, okay.
Just I guess focus on pushing waves instead of
you get to pick and choose your fights, my man. That's the cool thing about Terrorblade. Don't feel forced to go to these things. If you want the fight, make it happen. But if you feel like that just looked forced. You walked into no vision, 4 enemy heroes.
It was I get it. It's weird. During the game, it feels like better help out, but watching it back.
Yeah, exactly. I know what you mean. You said to me in the bristleback replay that you felt like you needed to pressure more or some shit. Dude, you're the same as me, man. Just vibe with the game. Does it feel like you're strong? Then play strong. Does it feel like you're weak? Then play weak. It's like in the bristleback game, my issue is that when you had Ags, you were farming passively and ignoring top. That's obviously you learning, right? You didn't realize how important top lane was, so that's not even a misplay. That's just you kind of learning. But it's there's no way you felt strong enough to walk into fog with 4 heroes mid. You know what I mean? It's just that is something where anything you do there is some sort of moral obligation or guilt or some random emotion. It's some mental game you're playing with yourself. And just don't do it. Don't play these mental games. And it's when I say just don't do it, I'm literally going to do it in 3 days from now. Okay. It's but I'm holding myself accountable. I'm fuck, man. I made so many decisions that were based on stupid shit that game. And I hate it. But as long as you're aware that that's the goal not to do it, then we're good. Is this another bristleback game or what? What are you?
No.
What are you?
I've done it. I am the Night Stalker.
Oh, shit. Okay.
It is in the bag.
30 seconds.
In the safe lane, of course.
Yeah. Okay. Unfortunate. Pull camp. WC ready. Okay, we drag it back to our creeps. The enemy actually missed an entire wave for that. I think that was net bad for them. You'll need to get in the habit of, if you're going to move your screen, pushing S. So your hero stops moving. You were trying to globally aggro there and your hero walked away. So I've basically learned to push S, then click here, then right click, then push S. And my hero doesn't move either time, right? So it's actually good to practice that in the lobby if you want. Prevent what you just did there. Okay, we're chilling. These guys are playing the lane super garbage. It's interesting you're pathing here, but when you have a creep wave like this, I need you to realize that mag has to get to that creep wave. Okay, so you should literally... Did you ever play basketball?
Yes.
Yes, cool. The worst sport. Oh, no.
I'm terrible at basketball.
Okay, well... In basketball, they call you're zoning the guy in front of you, right?
Yeah,
You're trying to keep him in a specific part of the court. That's what you're doing right here. The hoop is these 4 creeps. And you're no, not allowed to get here, dude. So I want you to think about that. Creeps are an obligation for everybody in the game. You can completely manipulate anything they're going to do based on creeps. Don't ever forget that. So when this guy does this stupid shit over here, dude, just zone him out. Walk this way. He walks this way, walk this way. He walks that way, walk that way. Literally make him walk through you to these creeps. Every second that passes, look what's happening. Right? Like, there's just a creep wave over here. So what you would actually ideally do is be in XP range of the creeps, zoning him from the creeps. So effectively, you're getting XP and he's not. That'd be like such a sick move. But instead, you kind of like did like a this, you know, and let him walk past you. You know exactly where he's going. There's no secret. The guy's gonna go back to his creeps. So, okay, enemies playing the map or playing the lane really badly though, so we're super happy about that. I like respect the bracer, but I feel like you're like ultra being chilling in this lane, and you could have just like gone Helm of Iron Will. You saved up like 1,300 gold. You had a greedy item in your like backpack or like your quick buy, and then you just didn't buy it. So that was a bit weird. If you have a comment on that, feel free. If you know if you're just like, I don't remember why.
I kind of just get a bracer on Ice Stalker. That's it.
Yeah, you got to learn to feel out the game, my friend. You're like me. You're in this like, you're kind of like going through the motions. Like you're thinking about the motions, but you're going through them. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, we got to get more feel based, you know. Okay. I think you're playing a little overly cautious here. As long as you don't get galed, I think you're super chilling. Nice. Please fly yourself items. It's actually painful. I don't know. I actually watched a decent amount of your replays at this point. You have not been a non-buying item person, and now you have turned into it this game, so I'm not sure what happened.
Me neither.
You're like a gold tier Night Stalker too, so it's not like lack of comfort on Night Stalker. Potato mode engaged, I guess.
I deserve this.
It's actually really bad this game.
Okay. Should be a kill. Please go kill him.
Not on the guy you think.
Dude, you... Oh. I see. I don't know. You have free pathing, dude. You can just, like, push Alt to see the tower range and just do a little lap. You don't need to give up that easily. Yeah, you gave up way too easily there. Free pathing is pretty strong.
This is Gabe Newell.
I think that's why I like Night Stalker so much. I think it's just the strongest thing in the game.
Yeah, when you push R, you're the strongest hero in Dota, probably. Yeah. Okay, so you're gonna go pull, or no, just go far. Okay. That's funny. You had like a really good start, and then you have like a bracer and a full wand. Where's just like the straight Helm of Iron Will, Treads Armlet or whatever.
Killing spree. Double.
Big fan of Treads on Night Stalker. If you're having a really good game, I've seen 33 do this. He goes Oops, I didn't mean to rewind. He goes Treads and then takes the 10% Hunter in the Night movement speed talent.
Oh, that makes sense. I was looking at it earlier, and that talent is just useless if you have phase boots.
It is. But effectively, if you buy Treads, that talent is, 200 HP and 20 attack speed, so it's nice. You don't really need armor this game. They have very little physical.
Yeah.
Like, you don't need more than the armlet, I guess I could say, of armor.
Stop it.
I would argue armlet's even debatable here. I feel like I'm down for armlet. I also think the way you're... Okay, you're just a noob. It's fine. I'm gonna call it how it is, man. What are you doing this whole time? What have you been doing?
Hidden creeps.
Okay.
In the jungle.
You're hitting creeps. Do you have any problem with what we're seeing on the screen here?
Well, if I were hitting creeps, I'd rather have treads, for sure.
True, but that's actually not what I'm going for. What else in that area would you rather have if you're hitting creeps? Wouldn't you rather be 6% faster with 20% or 20 extra attack speed?
Makes sense, yeah.
You're literally just running around hitting creeps, dude. Awareness of the game. That is what you need to learn. That is actually going to be... I mean, and the thing is that what I need you... This is your homework for the next session. Because I feel like what's going to happen if I don't focus on this for you, is you're gonna probably hit a wall around like 4K. Okay, you're gonna fucking plow into a wall at like 4K. I swear, I'm pretty confident about it. Okay, because I think you have a lot of things going for you that are pretty good. I can tell you critically think about the game. I can tell you care about improving, all that kind of stuff. You're trying to pick meta shit. Okay, you're gonna be me, like 6 years ago, if you continue on this path, and that's not a good thing. Okay, people called me the guy with like 0 map awareness, does the same thing every game. That's what people call me, okay? So that's going to be you if we continue down this path. So we got to be careful. So my goal for you is to learn to teach you to how to just objectively define what you're doing in the game. You know? You're just walking around hitting some creeps. That's all you did. Like, I'm not judging it. I'm not saying it's right or wrong. The thing is, I don't disagree with really anything you've done other than maybe being a little pussy right here. Like, you could, could have done this or some shit. But, like, I actually think most of what you did is better than 2700 MMR, right? Like, I would say, like, watching the lane, you probably played it better than these guys, okay? So, with that in mind, it's like, there's going to be some games where you're, like, constantly trading with the opponent, you're voiding them to fucking death, and they die. Great. Makes sense. Max void. Perfect. Totally. Like, I'm not saying your skill build looks stupid. It's like, if I loaded up the game right here, I would have no comment on your skill build. You know what I mean? It's like, it's fine. But the way you're playing the map right now is you're just running back and forth between lane. You haven't voided anybody in literally, like, 2 minutes. So you're just hitting creeps. And the thing is that maybe in lane, you're avoiding people, like that was what you were doing. So at level 5, you should take your 3rd point and void, right? But then now you're not voiding anybody. So take the 3rd point and Hunter in the night, right? It's just like, that's what I want you to work on. In the Bristleback game, you told me you felt like not much was happening in the lane. You told me that you should have been doing more, or it felt like you should have been doing more. Let's try to ignore the emotional burdens you're placing on yourself randomly that I am fully familiar with. Okay, I do this shit too. Let's just chop it up to, if you do anything because of that, you need to simply address the fact that it is not Dota related. It is you related, right? It's like you doing it to yourself. And the only solution is to, like, be aware of it and stop doing it to yourself. There's no Dota knowledge here that can be applied to that. You know what I mean? It's like, there was no reason for you to feel pressured against that Night Stalker as Bristle. I'm just trying to tell you, like, there was no reason for it. So don't worry about it. Play your game. Play play whatever you think your hero's capabilities are. If you don't feel like you can pressure that guy, then don't. If you feel like you can, then go for it. It's like, I have 40 mana as Bristle, probably not pressuring anybody. I'm still fine to farm, so let's just buy some farming items, let's go farm. Everything in Dota, if you play by feel, is just way better. The thing is, it takes critical thinking, combined, like, critical thinking either before the game, between games, during the game sometimes, there's a little bit of problem solving, but a lot of it's like using your knowledge and critical thinking from past, combined with how you currently feel. And you're like, oh, I've been in this situation before where I'm Bristle, I'm winning the lane, but I don't feel like I can pressure. I've been here before. What did I do last time? Did it work? Okay, it didn't work because this. Let's try it this time, Yeah, so that's the goal. I think it's your biggest issue by a large margin. So, because I think a lot of the other stuff is pretty good. I think you could get to 4K, maybe even 5K without fixing this. But you'll eventually have to do the whole, like, you took 20 steps forward. Let's take like 10 steps back and fix this and then move forward again. So I really want to avoid that headache for you if possible. Learn to just objectively assess the game. Like, just be like, oh yeah, I was walking around a lot. How did that fit my items and shit? I was absolutely fucking free farming this lane. I did not need a bracer. You know what I mean? Like bracers for contested lanes where you're trading a little bit back and forth. You need a little bit of extra HP and sustain. You know what I mean? That's what it's for. So, no, you were not in a lane where you needed bracer. We cannot just default to buying bracer every game. I don't care if you're wrong, by the way, dude. I just need you to, like, if I ask in our next coaching session, why did you buy a bracer, that you would give me a fucking reason. That's all I care about. If it's wrong, fine, totally fine. But you said, I usually buy bracer. That was your reason. I think you're good enough. You've already improved like 300 MMR in like 1 month. That's pretty significant. Like for my session, so I feel like it's registering. I can see a lot of good things. So you're better than this. Let's give a reason for what we're doing. I don't care if it's wrong. I just want one.
Oh, okay, you don't have to watch the part. Don't worry about it.
This is Gabe Newell. Thanks for playing Dota 2.
I mean, what happened here? So your bristle got gone on. Yeah. Looks like just an underestimation of the wards.
Yeah,
is really all that happened there. You also just have 1,300 gold in an open slot.
If only I had a home.
Yeah, honestly, Hell Environ Will, you might have just killed them both there. Or at least killed the Luna and gotten away. Shit happens. For whatever reason, you just turn into a complete item-buying potato this game. I don't really have much response for that. I don't think you normally do it, but if you do it, it's going to hurt you. So, whatever, you know, you do it 5% of the time, 5% of games you're putting at a disadvantage, you know, that's all we got there. Okay. We have gold for armlet. Why are we not buying it? Why am I taking extra time to buy it? Are we considering...
Oh, because I'm getting the shard first.
Oh, no. Dude, just finish the fucking armlet, dude. Holy fuck. Holy fuck, finish it, dude. Oh my god. Ugh. No, no. No, no. Wait, what are these rotations? I need to keep up with this. Okay, so there are a bunch
my farming pattern is all weird because we've got these stacks that we can't take.
So the issue with this situation is that you're a Night Stalker during day with ultimate, and you're supposed to have fucking bought your item and press fucking R and go on these guys. But for whatever reason, you're just like, nah, I'm gonna save for my shard. I'm gonna do some weird ass shit. Like, the thing about Night Stalker is you don't feel like you can farm because it's weird. Like, this situation is weird, you know? Like, I was like, wait a minute, what the fuck's going on? Why are we, like, following our bristle? And you just have this gold for an item, and you're like, well, it felt kind of weird. And it's like, well, you know, generally speaking, on heroes that have really strong spells, the best way to solve being weird is to look for an opportunity to use your spells. Turn off farm mode and just use the spells. You know, if your face is void and the game's looking kind of awkward, you don't feel safe to really farm anywhere, be like, who on my team can help me chrono somebody and kill them? You know, and then I'm going to go follow that guy. And maybe after I follow that guy for 20, 30 seconds, the opponent four-mans some other lane. And I'm like, oh, I can go farm now. You know? Like, that's kind of how I look at it. So, as Night Stalker here, I'd just be like, oh, I'm with my team as 4. I'm going to go ahead and push R. Like, that's what I would do here. It's going to be regular night in, like, 40 seconds anyway. We just, like, let them walk away from us. That was a little bit of a question mark.
Dominating, I guess.
Yeah, this is just so strange, man. Yeah, I mean, you're just against a Mag Luna Storm, and you're just, like, willing to trade farm with them. It's very strange. Do you guys win?
Yeah, we win.
Wow. Oh, what? Dude, that's such a weird bug where I push this twice, and then it, like, reloads the game. It's so weird. Let's see what happens. We're losing by 2k. We got our fucking armlet coming out.
My Chad Bristleback, who refused to take our stacks that he requested, gets a blade mail and 1v1's the Luna.
I'm fucking ready. I'm fucking ready. Oh, okay, pretty good kiting in the fight. Is there really no better item than the Keen Optic? I actually wasn't paying too much attention.
I probably wasn't paying attention either.
Yeah, for whatever reason, your brain turned off in regards to items this game. Oh, nice. We got a Brigand's Blade. We're fucking good.
I love Night Stalker, dude.
Hey, he's a fun hero.
There it is.
Yeah, I saw it. Okay. I'll be honest. We're kind of out of time. But I will say, if you're down for another actual Night Stalker coaching session, I think he would be better live next time. I feel like what I need you to do on Night Stalker is very different. Night Stalker is not exactly straightforward. I would just say, like, the thing about Night Stalker is, once you know how to play the map really well, the hero is, like, straightforward. But until we fully understand every part of the map, Night Stalker is actually very weird. Like, because he requires high understanding of the map to play him properly. So, like, basically, TLDR, just for the sake of this session, just to maybe plant some seeds, you know, is that when you have ult, you want to put yourself in a part of the map where a fight would likely occur, whether it's your team instigating it or whether it's the opponent instigating it, and look to fuck some bitches. If you don't have ult, then you kind of try to play away from these fights. So it's a lot about predicting where the opponent or your team will be and whatever you think's going to happen in the game. And with your ult, you play towards it. Without your ult, you play away from it, you know? And the thing is that maybe at regular night, you could cautiously participate in fights. But even without ult, you're just not the same hero. Definitely consider Ags sometimes. I've seen Saberlight build Ags a few games.
He did it today.
Yeah, he did it today.
I don't know. It's weird. I don't know when it's good, but I know it's usually not.
It's a kiting item. That's when it's good. It is a kiting item.
Actually, I don't even know.
What?
Does it increase the range?
No. It just becomes a radius around you. The way Razor utilizes Plasma Field is the same way you would utilize your Void. So I want you to think that Night Stalker, he kind of goes the fuck in, right?
Yeah.
But if the opponent is kind of weird to engage into, and the reason why I would say, like, if you look at the opponent here, like, I don't know, it's like weird to be point blank range against these guys. I feel like they're all like, most of their damage is done point blank.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, even Luna's like a 400 range hero. Veno's pretty low range. Storm's pretty low range. Shaman, all of his spells are pretty low range. You know, Mag has to be RPing you and shit. So, like, what you can do on Night Stalker is you either have the heroes like Puck, that you fucking jump them and they die. You know what I mean? Like, these guys, you get up in their face. These are the type of games where you can strongly consider, if you're like the main assassin. Is that a cat?
That's my cat. Yeah, she's really loud.
Do you have a cam? Do we get a cap cam or no?
I can do this for you.
Yes, please. I appreciate the cat cam. Do you mind if the viewers see the cat cam, or is it only me that's allowed to see the cat cam? It's fine either way. No pressure. I want to see the cat cam, guys. I heard a meow.
All right, I've disappointed everyone because my camera's in my backpack and I don't know where my backpack is.
Okay, GG. Well, meow. Okay, so it's like you can go like the Armlet BKB build, and that means like I'm gonna run the fuck in and get these guys, or like the Void or the Ags is kind of like I'm gonna poke them and poke them and poke them until they give me an opening. That's kind of what Ags does. Obviously, Ags like helps you farm, but the hero is about fighting, so you got to think about how it plays into fights. So, if you go Ags, you would do the 50 Void damage as well. That's the only major difference.
I feel like that talent is so bad compared to the other one. It's
bad if you don't buy an Ags. It's like really fucking bad. But if you buy Ags, it's good.
Yeah, it's hard. Like 8 seconds, that's like almost 30% extra duration. Like that's so crazy.
The Ags makes you much stronger without your ult, though.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. It kind of like turns you into like the highs are lower, but the lows are higher. That's also like a way to think about it. I'm just saying, it is a different way to play the hero, and any hero that has multiple ways to be played makes them stronger because you can adjust from game to game, right? Just something to consider. Maybe watch Saberlight's replay back and see how he played fights and stuff.
I'll have to because I was definitely
it's pretty much a different hero. I will say, like the way you play around your ult's pretty similar, but the overall hero is very different when you have an Ags. I remember the patch where Ags came out, it was like super broken. Fun hero.
I remember specifically you had one video where an Alk bought you an Ags, and it was...
Oh, that was a nice game. Yeah, I do remember that. I forgot about that, actually. Thank you for that. That was nice. Yeah, that was a nice game. I feel like Night Stalker is one of my highest win rates. That's a fun hero. What's my win rate on this hero? 67%. That's pretty nice. Not that great recently, apparently, but that's okay. Okay, so yeah, man. Any final questions before we wrap it up?
Nope, that's it. I guess I don't know. I'm down for live game next time. I'm definitely gonna. I want Night Stalker to be my best hero for sure. And
yeah, man, I'm totally down. Yeah, Night Stalker's fun.
Until they nerf him, I think he's way good enough to be a safe laner. But
he is, as long as people aren't reporting you, then he's good. Like,
right.
I'm saying, like, I do think he's good. People are just weird, so they'll like be like, "That's not a fucking anti-mage or standard carry." My favorite part about Game 2 of EG versus Entity was the first 20 minutes was, how the fuck does Entity have this stupid-ass draft? No carry. What the fuck? And then, like, 25 minutes, how does EG ever win with this draft? God, chat is so fucking dumb. It's fine, though. Okay, man. Enjoy the major.
Yeah. I sent you a picture of my cat, also.
Oh, thank you. That's good. That's good. Thank you. I appreciate it. Can I show chat?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, and it's on the desk. Aww.
She lays on my desk all day.
Yeah, that's what Snowball did when we were house sitting for Snowball. Aww. Cats love sitting on desks. It's interesting. Okay, man. Thanks for see you later, dude.
Yep. See ya.
Thanks for the cat pick. Bye. Okay, guys. This was like a second part of the stream. We just had a coaching session booked today. I am super exhausted. I have streamed probably 22 hours in the last 2 days. So I am fucking off. But thanks for watching. I'm going to run a quick ad just because I have to. But that's it for today's stream. Enjoy the major, guys. I'm not casting anymore. I'm sorry. I'm just got to go fucking sleep. I will most likely be on tomorrow. See you then. Bye-bye. Orger. Thanks for the sub, dude. Thank you. Why is my... Dude, why does it keep doing this? Reset? I don't understand. Let's get rid of stream preview. Quick actions go up here. Okay. Is BSJ being too harsh and frank? I think sometimes I'm a bit too harsh. I think I've gotten better at it though. I think sometimes you kind of just gotta tell it how it is, in a way that's like not even flamey. It's just like, honestly, if you're 600 MMR, you know you're garbage. Like, it's fine. Like if I do something that I'm not good at, I know I'm not good at it. It doesn't have to be like something you're ashamed of. Like, you're bad at Dota if you're 600 MMR. That's just how it is. Nothing to be ashamed of. So yeah. But yeah. Right, guys? Right. But that's it for me, guys. Ad's about to end. Thanks for watching. Good night, all.